Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Squirrel Circus podcast. I'm your host, the Rainbow
Hey, yo.
Squirrel. I'm joined by my co-host.
Hello, hello, Mr. Ian PZR in the house.
And I just want to start today off by saying, did you know that a mosquito can fly, but a fly cannot mosquito?
That's a tough one. That's actually so tough. And it's true. It's true. Like, what made mosquitoes so much more detestable than flies? To not
What made mosquitoes?
attribute the name of what they do. I think I would rephrase my question. Like, what made flies so much better than mosquitoes, so that they were attributed the name
Well,
of the thing they
flies?
do.
I actually don't know. I know that they're the top two of like which animal kills the most humans every year is mosquitoes and flies.
And flies.
Yes.
Why flies?
Because flies can also suck blood and transmit diseases.
But those are horse flies. Those are not normal flies.
Oh yeah, but they bite humans.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. There is bitey flies, but they're not called only flies. They're not just like
They're
traditional
not just
flies.
flies. Yeah,
Yeah,
but here's the thing. There may be harmless flies, but aren't there also harmless mosquitoes?
I don't know. I guess, because would you count like a mosquito bite harm, like actual harm?
If it has a disease, yeah.
If it has a disease, but like ag- at least where we have lived, like we don't have to worry too much about like getting a
Yeah,
disease from a mosquito bite.
I mean,
I think you gotta go like to
civilization.
South America, or you gotta go to Africa, or to, I don't know, Central Asia to actually be worried about that.
Yeah, there every mosquito bite, you're like, holy shit, I may die.
That's, imagine living like that, especially somewhere that there is like actually a big amount of mosquitoes. I
Yeah.
I can't imagine that. Yeah.
Very
A good
scary.
thought to start on. Yeah.
Um, but anyway, today we're going to be analyzing two songs, sort of sharing our thoughts on them, our ideas. And the first one is,
Which one do you want to start with? Let's
I think we
start
should start
with
with Have a Cigar.
Have a Cigar. Okay. I
But
don't
I
know
think
if we'll
you
if
can
we'll
tell
be
us more
able to
about the
play the
song.
music, but
No, we will not be able to play this.
we won't, right? But yeah, we can talk about the lyrics.
And I
Well,
think
Have a Cigar.
you know more about this song than I do, so you start.
Okay, okay. Have a Cigar is a song written by Pink Floyd, by Roger Waters, and that is part of the album Wish You Were Here, which is, let me pull out the year. I always forget the dates, but this was basically when Pink Floyd was starting to gain popularity, like in the mainstream record business and the record industry. They were actually starting to sell a lot, and I guess they talk about something that many musicians and artists talk about, which is having to deal with the suits that sell music and don't necessarily, or aren't necessarily interested on what the music is, right? That's a very interesting song. Let's go to the album. 1975. It's from 1975. It's a
Was more than 50 years ago.
it was it's literally, yeah, it literally cumplió
51.
50 years last year. Yeah, yeah, they actually like pulled out. And they dropped a new album with like unheard demos and stuff. Is
That's
it that
crazy.
impressing that it was 50 years ago?
Think like, oh, Pink Floyd, that was 30 years ago. No.
Oh no, no, it goes even way back than that. They started in in late 60s, I think, 68 or 69. They dropped their first few songs. But yeah, do you have the lyrics open with you just that we so that we can
Uh, Let me
kind of
open it
read
up.
them together?
Yes. Yeah, here they are. Come in here, dear boy, have a cigar. So already cigars are kind of like emblematic of the sort of fat,
The fat
wealthy,
pig,
yeah, fat, wealthy,
the fat
you know.
wealthy. I think you can really imagine like the image of Winston Churchill. You know, like a fat guy with a suit just drinking, I don't
He
know,
was probably
drinking whiskey,
the
cognac.
most virtuous man to ever smoke a cigar. I was like, fucking, what would be an example? Some traffickers down in Cuba,
Andrew
like fucking
Tate. It's a very Andrew
Andrew
Tate
Tate.
thing,
Oh
you
yeah,
know. But
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. Just horrible.
and that's crazy because that's already they are already presenting a massive archetype. You know, an
Yep.
archetype that we can all relate to and that we can all recognize. It's amazing because only the word cigar already gives you like all that information, which
Simultaneously, such a new archetype, like what tobacco farming has only existed for what, 400,
yeah, yeah,
maybe
it's a very
500 years.
recent thing. Yeah.
And it's so powerful and it's so deep and it's so emblematic of what the song is trying to get across that it's the title.
Have a cigar, yeah.
Who the fuck is calling? Doesn't matter. And uh, you're gonna
Have a
go far.
cigar.
You're gonna fly high. So
You're never gonna
there's
die. You're gonna make it if
there's
you try.
there's some encouragement there. That's it's like the dream of every artist. You know,
It
you're gonna
is.
go far. What do you mean by go far? That means you're gonna get famous. People are gonna listen to you. You're gonna be a big name. You're gonna be a household name. You're gonna fly high. It's like you're gonna feel good about it. You are going to enjoy the constant rush of the recordings and the concerts and the signings and the public appearances. You're gonna feel the thrill of it.
And
You're
I
never gonna
think
die.
this already presents the conflict, right? And I think it's an interesting conflict to say the least. The conflict of understanding music as one thing and as an art, but being also pulled by the corruptions of it, right? And by this side of it that gives you this, how do you say it? When you get, yeah, yeah, like getting successful enough that your world changes completely. You know, like you become a minority and you become a famous person, you become a wealthy person. I think it's like the guy with the cigar, the man with the cigar is like trying to pursue you to become part of the system that built them, right? And it's difficult because it's very tempting. You know, it's this guy with a cigar that is wealthy and that has everything, right? And it's very tempting because it seems like these like this archetype is an archetype that knows what they want, you know, and that knows how to get what they want. They know how to,
Yeah.
and it's easy to fall for that. And I guess that's the whole point of the song, right? Pink Floyd being I don't know if there is Like there is a bias. Would you say there is a bias in these lyrics towards wanting to fall into this temptation or wanting to abstain from it? Or is it just like a description of reality of whatever they were going through by becoming mainstream and having like such massively sold albums?
I think from what I've researched, they had relatively good relationships with their producers and such
Hmm.
throughout, and they became more and more independent over time. But they were writing this as a sort of satire of their perception of what the music industry was like outside of their lives.
Yeah.
Uh, and here's, well, we'll get to this in a second, but um, you're never gonna die. That's also a big dream, not just for artists, but for philosophers as well, that your work will live on and be remembered even after you die.
Yeah. The transcendence, right? Like the promise of transcendence and of
Yeah. You're gonna make it if you try. They're gonna love you.
it's
Well,
that.
I've
It's
always
already
had a,
like a very clear image, right?
yes.
Of a
And
manager
so far
finding you.
it's kind of almost a positive image. Like, we're gonna help you, we're gonna encourage you, and you're gonna achieve your dreams. Let's work together. Well, I've
Yeah,
always had a deep respect, and I mean that most sincere. This is where it starts. We get
yeah,
cutting to the other side. Uh, he does not mean that most sincere. That is an ironic line here in the song. The band is just fantastic. That is what I really think. Oh, by the way, which one's pink?
oh, by the way, which one's pink?
So here's
Yeah,
where my
I think
ignorance
that's
kicks
a
in. I didn't even know that they called one of the members of the band Pink.
no. There is that's a thing. The original name of the band came like the actual members of the band don't really remember where it came. Like there are a few recollections and stories of where it came, but the name Pink Floyd is supposed to be a character. Or it's supposed to be the name of one person, right? It's Pinkerton Floyd, which they actually expand on later in their career on the album The Wall. The Wall is a it's a it's a theatrical piece
Mhm.
in which there is one character who is Pink, the Pink Floyd, and the whole album is the story of how this Pink became a rock star as a means to escaping the world, right? Because of different traumas that he has, and that there is a lot of criticism towards a lot of things, the education system, towards war, towards um, obsessive motherhood. There is like a big, there is a big Freudian theme in there, but
Yeah,
it's interesting stuff. But yeah, in this case, there is no one in the band who is called Pink Floyd, but still, it's the name of
it's
someone. So it's like,
okay.
I see the band, I see you guys, but I don't get it. Like, which one of you is Pink Floyd?
See,
Like
there I
it's.
relate to the fucking producer. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking? Like, oh, there's one of them called Pink? Oh my God, I didn't know that.
No, no, no. It's that. It's all. Yeah, it's all the way around. It's like, who is Pink? It's supposed to be like an artistic choice. It sounds good. Pink Floyd sounds so good that you don't even notice it's supposed to be the name of someone, right? Or that it can be someone's name. Because you understand the artistic point of view of it. Like Floyd kind of sounds like flow, and their music is like all psychedelic and flowy. Like it just makes sense. I think there is like this synesthesia that we were talking about in the name Pink Floyd and their actual style of music and of making music. It was it just there is a synesthesia between this name like Pink Floyd. It's what it sounds like, right?
It reminds me
But
of
it
that
seems like
scene in Infinity War. Like, I'll ask you this one time, where is Pink Floyd? I'll do you one better. Who is Pink Floyd? I'll
who
do
is.
you better. Why is Pink?
But I think that's great because it's like it's telling you something about these managers, right? About them, they're just thinking about the tradition in a band. Like a band is usually named after someone who is in the band, you know, the leader of the band, right? There is like a tradition aspect to it, and the tradition aspect to music business too. Like there is supposedly only one way of selling music, and there is only one way of making an album, you know, and you only have the option of either making an album or making a single, right? And there
Yeah,
is like all these sets of rules that are literally created for the people who sell music for it to be easier to sell it, right? It is like that.
I feel like
So
artists nowadays don't really care for those rules. Like,
I think they do. I think they
really?
do. Yeah, because the rules are different nowadays. Nowadays, since there is a lot more young artists and young emerging artists that are starting literally from their own bedroom, I think there's also like this tendency to wanting to find your place in the industry, right? That is
Right.
very difficult and that is very scary as an emerging artist to kind of throw yourself into it and have to compete with so many people that are just like you to kind of push your music and make it shine, you know, make it kind of what the man and the cigar used to offer the musicians back then. It doesn't really happen nowadays, or it does happen, but the ones you by yourself already kind of build somewhat a name for yourself. So you do as an emerging artist who wants to have this type of success. You know, you want to have listeners. You do have to like you can't really drop an album. You know, you can like there is no one to tell you you can't. But emerging artists don't do this. They actually work by releasing singles because it's a lot easier for yourself to just promote a single on Instagram and on social media. You just have to spam your single, right? That's just one song. You can just grab that one song and the best part from that one song because people don't will never listen to your whole song if you don't give them from the start the best part of the song, which is, in my opinion, a very fucked up thing that we have come to. But it's a lot easier to move your music like that, right? And there is this
Mhm.
part of creating a masterpiece that kind of involves more than just the song or the music, because that's what an album is usually. And when you want to write like a good concept album, like Pink Floyd did, and like Marina did, we're gonna talk about her a bit later is you grab a main theme, right? And you try to explore it through as many different archetypes and as many different points of view as possible. And the only way you can do it is through having many songs, right? And you start noticing that if you really have like an artistic point of view behind your music, it's really going to be a lot more difficult for you to really express what you want to express nowadays, right? I think yesterday or in the times of Pink Floyd, you could. Well, I don't know. I don't know. It was just different. Similar in many aspects, but it was just done different. You had to approach it differently. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, this gets to the next line, which is really the core of the song. And did we tell you the name of the Game Boy? We call it riding the gravy train. First of all, you already told me the name. It's Game Boy. It's a gaming console. It's a handheld thing. That was a terrible joke. Uh,
Yeah, I've always thought about it. Like when I used to listen to this song, I didn't understand the writing the gravy train. I didn't know what he was saying, you know? Like
I had to look it up. I had to look up what that
the
meant.
only word that kind of sticks out is the Game Boy. So it was like, I don't
Did we tell you the
even
name of the
think
Game
Game
Boy?
Boys were a thing back then, you know? Like they were just
Were
predicting.
they? I don't know.
Game Boys,
When was the Game Boy invented?
probably it was an 80s thing or maybe a mid 80s. I'm completely ignorant in video game history, honestly.
Game
I
Boy.
don't know.
I shouldn't be. Game Boy when released. You're right. They didn't exist. This was prophetic.
It was prophetic, yeah.
This was
Riding the
years,
gravy train.
years before the Game Boy existed.
Yeah.
Like
No,
almost
these guys
15
were
years.
they were actually like very ahead of their time a lot, even predicting actual like
Actual video games.
like the invention of video games and shit.
We call it riding the gravy train. That's a really interesting line. Like being opportunistic, riding the system, making a lot of money with very little effort, riding the gravy train. It leads to an interesting question. Why do artists sign up with these guys?
And yeah, I think that's why I was asking if this song seems biased or if it seems like it's just a kind of a description of how things are.
I think it's biased because I mean, at the very least, it wasn't a description of how things were for them, for Pink Floyd. They
Yeah.
were painting an image of what the industry is like. But even in that image that they're painting, like, okay, so why do any artists sign up? Why don't they just do it without the executives and without the producers?
It's interesting.
I
I
think
think
there's a genuine service that producers and managers and executives provide to artists. Like it says it later in the song, we're just knocked out. You heard about the sellout. You got to get an album out, like pressuring the artist to do
yeah.
more and more. You owe it to the people to divert it. You don't owe it to us. No, you owe it to the people. They love you. It's
Yeah.
very disingenuous, very we're so happy we can hardly count. That's just the peak image of this whole thing. Like we have so much money that we can't even count it.
Yeah.
Everybody else is just green. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Because just green would mean like unexperienced, not ripe, not ready yet.
Everybody else is just
That's
green.
ripe.
Have you seen the chart?
Wait, YouTube, hear me out. That's ripe. That's RIPE, not
Yeah.
anything else. It's talking about fruits, okay? Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's what it usually means, right? In traditional context.
Yeah,
It's have you seen the chart? It's a hell of a start that could be made into a monster if we all pull together as a team.
we all pull together as a team. And then it's like, shouldn't they all pull together as a team? Like, don't the only reason that it seems to me like artists would ever team up with these executives is
It's
that the
because
executives have access to resources or certain skills that can help the artist that the artist themselves doesn't have.
yeah, it's basically because artists need support. You know, like there is such a few amount of artists who actually do everything by themselves. Like artists, usually, especially good artists, are good artists because the only thing they know how to do is art. You know, they know how to do music, and that's the point of being an artist. Like an artist has shouldn't be worrying about the business side of it and the promotion and the and the distribution and the management and the show bookings and all that shit. Like you do need
Yeah,
help.
that's logistic stuff. Like that's the last thing an artist wants to worry about.
Yeah, but it seems like whoever is working in this other side that is not the artist, I feel like there is. I can relate it to a kind of an Ayn Rand archetype thing. Very Peter, like it's very Peter type people, Peter
Eating.
Keating type people, right? It's like this idea of you are only worried about making money out of it and making a business out of it. Like I don't doubt there are managers who actually care about the music, right? But like if they're big managers and they have proven they're gonna make you successful in an economic way. That's because that's what they care about.
Mhm.
And it seems like there usually has to be kind of a clash there between this side and the like they have to come together, right? They have to come together as a team to kind of push the little thing to be made into a monster, right?
Monster.
But it seems like the morale of both archetypes, which is the artist and then the promoter and the businessman, kind of there is an uncompatible thing there. It has to be compatible. It has to work in a way, because if not, like there is no music business and there is no way for the artist to be like, not even if they don't want to be successful, just making money and being able to make a living out of it. If you don't have the support from this kind of person,
So in a sense, they are necessary. They are.
they are they are. Problem is, it seems like they end up taking advantage, right? I
Right.
mean, I don't think this is shown in this song though. Like the part of taking advantage of the artist.
Kind of in the put more stuff out. You owe it to the people. Like
I mean, yeah, basically, but they're not telling the artist what to do, right? And I think that's one thing that is kind of being missed. Is it seems like nowadays producers and managers and have found that the best way to make an artist successful is telling them exactly how they should make their music for it to be I mean, there is a formula, right? There is a study of what
right.
music is successful and why certain type of music is successful and more likely to be listened to than other type of music. And I
Which
think,
is just going to be amplified with AI music. It's like AI music. You don't even need to tell it what's going to be successful. It just knows.
yeah, yeah, it just analyzes the whole industry, and it just analyzes through Spotify, like not only which are the most listened to songs, but which are the parts of these songs that are most listened to. And I guess that was the job of the managers and of the cigar people, but now this is gonna be taken away from them, and who is gonna be left? It's Howard Rourke. It's gonna be which is, I don't know. It's nice to think about it like that, but
Yeah. Howard Rourke,
yeah.
which I
So
guess leads into the next song, which is kind of
it's
the
the opposite, right? I
the
don't know if it's
opposite
the up
and the complementary.
and complementary. It's definitely complementary. I think there is definitely a complementary part to it, but it's a very different point of view. Like the point of the song, it's like
The
very
artist
shifted.
that
It's very shifted into one very specific point of view, I think.
yeah,
So
it's the artist that will do anything for fame, and that feels empty and
Yeah, basically. And I think I don't know. Yeah, now that I think about it, I think it's both of these songs. They also kind of tap into a more general archetype that is not only seen in the arts, but it's seen like in general. And I think it would be easier to go on with the song, read the lyrics, and talk about it.
Prima donna girl, all I ever wanted was the world. I can't help that I need it all. Like those lines right up, like, okay, these are the greatest ambitions somebody could possibly have.
Yeah,
It's unspecified yet what precisely she means by she wants the world.
yeah.
What does that mean?
But
The
it's
prima
crazy.
donna
Like
life? Sorry.
comparing it to Have a Cigar, I think both of these songs are great because they already present the archetype very clearly since the first three lines of the song, right? And
That's
I think
true. I
I
didn't
think
think about that. It's very true.
that that already gives it like this sense that it is gonna be talking about one thing, right? It's not just a story; it's a story of this one specific thing that we can all relate to again. And I guess it's the and Have a Cigar. It's this dynamic of the powerful man, and then kind of the small artist that is being like manipulated into something, right? Kind of maybe against their will or against the way they would have wanted to be done. And this song I feel is the opposite. It's more like the small person, the small wanting something from the bigger man, right?
Right.
Wanting something and wanting it all, and like we are already talking about three very different archetypes, like with these two songs. I love that. I love that.
Absolutely. And this is interesting. The prima donna life, the rise and fall.
And the fall.
Like they know that this is gonna burn you out. Uh, they're probably gonna discard you eventually. It doesn't matter because you get to have it all, even if just for 1 second, and that's what you want.
Yeah.
Just crazy. Okay. You say that I'm kind of difficult, but it's always someone else's fault. This is just usual brattiness.
Yeah.
Like, I
And
am not responsible for anything because I'm perfect, and that's why I deserve the world.
yeah. And I think getting to this part of the song, it's already what, just the fifth line. And we already know perfectly what the song or who the song is talking about. We can all perfectly like craft an image of that one person we know. That is basically who this song is talking about,
Literally. Yes.
which which makes it very good. I think this is a very good song because of that.
Got you wrapped around my finger, babe. Like, whatever she has that is making her so, you know, explosive, fame-wise, gives her the capability of manipulating people.
Yeah, I think you and I are seeing this song from a different perspective because I see this song. I think you're seeing this song being sang or supposedly or the character who's singing the song is an artist, right? Do you think that Marina is talking about herself?
No, no. But
She's not.
Marina
She's not.
does talk about like other artists a lot. Not
Yeah,
directly a lot of the time, but she critiques Hollywood. She does talk about archetypes within the art industry.
Okay, okay.
I think this is one of those instances.
That's good to know because what I was saying is it also seems like it could be tied into a general archetype that not only happens like within the artistic scene, but in general,
In life, yeah.
yeah, in life, like a gold digger doesn't necessarily need to be an artist, right? And many times for these women, because this is a female archetype, I think she is talking specifically about the female archetype in here. I think
Yes.
it's common for this type of person specifically to kind of find their way to success through sucking from someone else, right? Using their
Riding a gravy train.
riding a gravy train, yeah. And I guess that's what where I was going with. I got you wrapped around my finger. It's also like there is there is a compromise. There is I'm taking advantage of the compromise you have set in this relationship to suck as much from you as possible, and you can't do anything about it because we are married, because we are compromised, right? Because there is a compromise.
I mean, there can be something there with the wrapped around my finger ring thing, but I have heard wrapped around my finger like in non-marriage situations as well.
Yeah, but it's good because
Uh,
it applies to different points of view, and I think that's great. Like from the
yes.
artistic point of view, it also, and I didn't think about it like that because I did a bit of investigation about the album in general, and it seems to be, and I listened to a few songs. And it seems that the whole album, like the concept of the album, is touching upon these female specific archetypes, or at
Yeah.
least the ones that we can kind of
The life of
stereotypically
Electra
point
Heart.
to. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, just to put that on the table. But
Honestly, Electra Heart is probably kind of a baddie though.
I mean, yeah, but it's one of those temptations, that that would not do you good. Yeah.
Uh, would you do anything for me? This is where the marriage part comes in. Buy a big
Yeah.
diamond ring for me. Would you get down on your knees for me? Pop that pretty question right now, baby. That is absolutely about a marriage proposal. That is
Yeah.
like seeing it like that. It's like, okay, yeah, that's what it is. Uh, Here's where I think it's maybe talking about something Hollywood related. Beauty queen on a silver screen.
Isn't the silver screen a mirror?
And I thought it meant TV.
You thought it meant TV? I think
TV
it could be. I think it could be. I
or a
think it would
movie.
make.
Yeah,
I.
'cause I've heard that expression before. Silver screen referring to
It could be both things. Like I'm starting to find all these. Like there are very like double-sided
yeah,
lines.
it's the cinema industry.
It's a cinema industry. Okay.
Yeah, the
Okay.
silver
That
screen.
that makes sense.
Beauty queen on a silver screen.
Living life like I'm in a dream. I know. I gotta go. I got a big ego.
Got a big what?
Ego. I really don't know why it's such a big deal, though.
Uh, I know I've got a big ego. I really don't know why it's such a big deal though. Like this is part of who I am. I desire things and I want things and I want to control things and I want to be on that screen no matter what. The rise
No
and
matter
fall.
what. Yeah, yeah.
The
Yeah, he
next line
already
is
said it. Yeah.
the next line is really interesting. I'm sad to the core. Every day is a chore. When
When you
you
give
give,
me,
I want more.
I want more.
It's like she feels sad. She feels like nothing has meaning except when she is given stuff. Me want, me want,
Basically,
me want. It's that
yeah,
ego. I want to be adored. And I think that also gets to the bigger celebrity line in in general. It's not just be adored by one person, by your husband. So I want to be adored by the public. I want to be adored by the masses. I want that
yeah,
recognition of my talent and my beauty and my art. I'm a prima donna girl. All I ever wanted was the world. I can't help that I need it all. The prima donna life, the rise and the fall. You say that I'm kind of difficult, but it's always someone else's fault. Got you wrapped around my finger. You can count on me to misbehave.
yeah.
Prima
That's the
donna
hook.
girl.
The hook just repeats
Fill the
itself.
void up with celluloid. I'm not
Celluloid.
exactly sure what that means, but I think it's referring to like injections to make
Injections,
yourself
yeah.
look
Celluloid
prettier.
is plastic, yeah. Is it? Is it? Let's.
Celluloid. So we're doing a lot of research on this episode, guys. We're doing a lot of research.
A transparent
Celluloid
flammable
meaning, it's the first
plastic.
thing that pops up. That's fucking terrifying. It wasn't even on my recent history. I just looked up cell and it was just celluloid meaning. What the fuck?
Oh, it's
Transparent
to
plastic.
take pictures and stuff. Oh, it's the rolls they use for film. You know, like analog
Uh,
film. That's a celluloid.
that makes a lot of sense. See, that gets back to being a movie
Yeah,
star thing.
yeah. Fill the void up with celluloid. Take a picture. I'm with a boy. Get what I want because I asked for it, not because I'm really that deserving of it.
And that line alone is what made me pick it as a sort of compliment to have a cigar. Because
Yeah,
that thing, get what I want because I ask for it, not because I'm really that deserving of it. That is the ethos of riding the gravy train. That's exactly what it is.
yeah. Hmm.
And so it's like the executives can ride the gravy train, but the artist can ride the gravy train too,
They
which
can,
is
they can, but it seems like there's also this um like fill the void up with celluloid. I think that's kind of the part that tells you kind of the bias of the song because it's not right, you know, like it's almost like if she was treating fame like a drug, you know, like a
he
drug
is
addict would
absolutely
treat a
she is.
drug, and like this addictive this and that's what drugs do to you. Like the reason you get addicted to drugs is because they become part of your life. Like many drugs are, yeah, like chemically addictive and stuff, but
Mhm.
it's the same thing. Like you don't notice how drug can be bad for you until everything has fallen and everything has. So it's kind of
Couldn't
the
agree
same. It's
more.
yeah, it's fucked up shit.
But yeah, that's exactly what she's doing. Treating fame like a drug.
Yeah,
Living life like I'm in a play. Nothing feels real. Nothing like the literally the line between reality and the fantasy of the cinema that she uses to fill up her void is dissolving. There is no line. In the limelight I want to stay. She wants to live her whole life just doing movies, movies, movies. Fame, fame,
yeah.
fame. That's you can see the addiction sort of building up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it's gotten to that point where you can't imagine how your life would be if you weren't in that situation,
Yes.
right? If you weren't consuming this thing, if you weren't riding the gravy train. right? It
And then
becomes
it's like,
very scary.
I know I've got a big ego. I really don't know why it's such a big deal, though. That's why it's such a big deal, because it's driving you toward this thing that is consuming your life and making it empty and making it sad and making every day feel like a chore. It's like that's why it's such a big deal. But she doesn't know because she's
Yeah.
in it. Going up, going down, anything for the crown. See, there, I don't know if that was, I don't know what kind of reference that was. Um, when the light's dimming down, I spin around. That's like, okay, when the filming is over and all that, she's in such a state of joy and ecstasy from the filming that just happened that she's just elated.
But
Prima Donna girl.
there is also like a I can I can see in that imagery of I just spin around kind of an objectifying thing. Like I can relate it to one of those, you know, those little classic boxes that have like a little plastic ballerina
Yeah.
that just kind of spins around and just does it perpetually,
Hmm.
right? That's when all of this is finished, when the cameras are off, I just kind of stay in that state, right? And I can't gain what I am back. I just have to kind of stay there and spin like it's not like I go back to life. It's more like my life has become this, and it's all it is. Like I have lost this real part of myself. I have lost this free will to just stop spinning and do something else, and actually do something with.
And a lot of Marina's songs actually get to that same idea of like I've lost the real nature of what life is supposed to be like. So I'm just gonna keep doing this other thing.
Yeah, which is very relatable. Honestly, it's very relatable. I think
Yes.
with any kind of habit you form for yourself, being it good or bad, it always has like that effect that you can't live without it afterwards. I think that's why it's good, like building up good habits, you know.
Yeah. I'm prima donna girl. Yeah. All I ever wanted was the world. I can't help that I need
Yeah,
it
and
all.
we're
The
back
prima
to the
donna
hook.
life, the rise and fall. You say that I'm kind of difficult, but it's always someone else's fault. Got you wrapped around my finger, babe. You can count on me to misbehave. That's an interesting line we haven't covered. You can count on me to misbehave. Like it's also a part of this like bratty nature. Like even the producers and the executives, they want me to be this certain way, but I'm not going to be that certain way
Yeah,
because uh, I just don't feel like it because that's my ego. I'm not going to listen to instructions just for the sake of it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
it's not.
But sometimes,
It's yeah,
sometimes it's better to behave. But in this case, it's
yeah, and then it's just the same as the hook all
all
over
I ever
again.
wanted was the world, but I need it all. You can count on me to misbehave. Prima Donna Girl. Okay, those are the two songs. Let's. What are the sort of wrapping thoughts for today?
I don't know. I think these two songs present kind of a pantheon, right? Where the archetypes kind of interact with each other in a way that we see in many other artistic pieces. You know, like I can really relate it to Ayn Rand's idea and the or Ayn Rand's philosophy and the Fountainhead. I can relate it really to Andy's Star and Eye People. You know, like it's very easy to understand and to to capture and to identify who are the stars and who are the eyes in this, right? It's I think we should always have these our eyes open to these symbols, to these archetypes, and all of the art that we consume, right? Because it really ties to what humanity is today, and to how the average human sees the world. And I think it's a good way to open the doors into possibilities of maybe finding a better way for archetypes to interact with each other, right? Maybe you can defeat some of these archetypes, especially when you find them in yourself, right? I think both
Yes.
of these pieces are very good in that aspect. They're giving you two different stories where you can identify yourself, like from two very different points of view, but in one single characteristic. So yeah, I think that's my thought. What do you think about that?
I mean, I agree. I don't know the star and I archetype as clearly.
It's
So
basically
I'm wondering like specifically with the Have a Cigar, the producers, those are I people. I
yes.
get it enough to say that. But with Primadonna, is she a star person or an I person?
She's definitely more of an I person
Okay.
because there is this constant haunting by the idea of being
Fame
seen,
and being
of
seen.
being
Yes.
seen in general. It's not only fame, like you don't have to be thirsty for fame as an I person, but your whole life and your whole construction of your gnosis and your understanding of everything is based on what the world expects from you, right? And when you get so buried in I am like this and the world expects me to be like this and therefore I'll just keep being like this, like prima donna girl. I think you end up finding yourself in one of those. Well, it's a gravy train, right? It's an I person is whoever rides a gravy train, and it seems like many star people are kind of corrupted into that. Like there definitely is like a natural. I don't know psychology enough to say if people are born star people or they're turned into star people because of life experience,
Yeah.
or if it's something innate. I think it's something worth it to think about. Nevertheless, um, but yeah, another good example is Peter Keating is like the the Peter Keating is like the perfect ethos of what an I person is, and Howard Rourke is the perfect ethos of what a star person is. So I mean, shout out to Ayn Rand. Shout out to the Fountainhead. Please read that shit. I know it's a long ass book, whatever, but you don't even have to read it complete to understand. I think reading just the first third of the book is already enough.
The Fountainhead. It's really good. And if you finish The Fountainhead, read Atlas Shrugged.
I have to. I still have to. I still have to. But
That one's
yeah,
way longer. That was one of the longest books ever written, ever.
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Freaking insane.
I
Yeah.
think I have it in my house library. It's there. I have seen it there. I'm gonna look for it. Well,
Well,
yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's it.
thank you for listening to the Squirrel Circus podcast. We will see you next week.